Hey, everybody, this is Carl White, broadcasting from the secret headquarters here at the Mortgage Marketing Animals / Freedom Club. And you're listening to Loan Officer Freedom, #1 podcast in the world today. And it's #1 because you knew that at some point we would have Miss Ginger Bell as our guest today. And that's who we have. We have a very dear friend of mine for many, many, many years. That actually met at the Mortgage Revolution. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
That's where
Long
we.
time ago.
Yep. And so Ginger is in Portland, Oregon, and she owns a company called edumarketing that focuses in for loan officers. We'll talk about that more here in a little bit. What we're going to talk about today is Ginger, not too long ago, here recently, started up this really cool a group of loan officers that meet every Friday as a free group. Really cool thing to do, talking about video marketing for loan officers. And you were kind enough to have myself and I know Scott Shang participating in with that. And man, I was listening to some of the great content. I thought, man, if I can give her an ethical bribe to join us on the podcast, you've got a lot of great information. So Ginger, first of all, great to see you here, my friend.
Oh, it's great to see you too. And thank you so much. You know, I often listen to your podcast when I'm driving, and it is always good to be able to continue to learn and to grow. And so thank you so much for all that you do to be able to provide that to our industry. I truly appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So, all right, cool. So let's talk about video marketing for loan officers, Ginger, which you're, I would say, and I don't think I'm being off. I don't think I'm off by saying this. I think you're the only person that specifically teaches this topic for loan officers. So you're not a expert at this. You're the expert at this. So that's a really, and I know I've been doing video marketing for years, and I've learned a lot by sitting in on those classes you're doing. So on video marketing for loan officers, where do we start? We can talk about equipment. We can talk about what do I say. We can talk about why aren't I doing it? Why I should be doing it. Where do we start with this?
Well, I think everybody knows they should be doing it. You know, it's one of those, we've been talking about it for a long time. COVID obviously put everyone into the realm of, hey, you know, I really need to do this, and realizing obviously with Zoom that they can do it. But I think more than the fact of understanding, yes, you need to do it, you really need to, first of all, get over the fear of doing it.
Mm.
And that's really why I started getting into providing video coaching, video content, video editing, you know, all things video for the industry. Because as you said, nobody else was doing it, which shocked me. Now there are people doing it outside the industry. Like you can go hire a video production team, they can do the editing. But since we have so much content to talk about in the industry, it's good to be able to know what you're talking about. But the first thing is getting over that fear. And you have to come to terms with that on your own. And first of all, just kind of get over yourself. Most people, especially women, and I think men as well, they see themselves on camera as like, oh, I don't like to see myself on camera. I just can't watch it. And I started out the same way. You know, I started doing video back in 2008 when the crash happened and we were not doing live events. I mean, that's why Mortgage Revolution, where we first met, why, you know, Mark brought that around, is we need to do something. And so I had to get into doing video for teaching and for continuing education. That's how I got into it. And I would do it and I would send it to my editor and say, edit it. I don't want to see it unless there's something, you know, that I really need to look at. Otherwise, just post it. And so I just had to get over that. Now I'm okay. I still don't love seeing myself in video, but the reality is that is how you look. We just don't see ourselves every day. We don't see ourselves in that 3D like everybody else does. And everybody loves us. You know,
So
people
Ginger,
love you.
so when you say, you know, I just go do it anyway, you know, some people would say, well, yeah, it's easy for you because you look like Ginger Bell, right? And I'm not saying this, you know, like really, you know, you're an attractive lady, and I'd say the same thing, attractive man, right? Same thing. So it's easy for, I don't look like Ginger Bell. Like, what would you say to that person?
It doesn't matter what you look like. So I actually had a call with someone who got me into the industry 20 years ago, who I've known for a long time. She's a fantastic leader in the industry, great manager. And she called me and she said, okay, I've been watching what you're doing, and you're right, I'm ready to do this.
Hmm.
And I love her dearly. You would, and her biggest thing is, I don't like how I look on video. And it's like, you know what? If you think of yourself as not having a physical, and not to get any, spiritual or anything like that, but if you just take away what you look like and think about you as a person,
Hmm.
who you are, what what you bring to the table, and take out that physical part, that's what matters.
Hmm.
Honestly, in video, that is what matters. People people are more interested in what you have to say than how you look saying it. It's our minds that get into this. And I was having this discussion with someone the other day saying, who said whoever set that standard that's how someone should look.
Hmm.
It's like it doesn't matter. So get over yourself, know you have something to offer, and do it anyway, because that's the most important thing.
Man,
So get over your fear.
I couldn't agree with you more, because like, hey, and I say this from time to time, and I'm not saying it just to be humble or anything, but I get it. I'm no Brad Pitt, right? So I get that. And I've been doing video for years, and I was one of the early adopters, and
Yep.
it has made a massive difference in my business. And you're right. I found, because like when I first started seeing myself on video, it was like, oh boy, it makes me look this, it makes me look that, and like you said, no, it makes me look like me, right? It
Yeah.
makes me look like this is, and I just came to terms like, hey, when I go to the grocery store, when I go to the gas station, when I go to the movie theater, I don't put a bag over my head.
No.
And I get it. I'm no troll. I'm not saying that, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just normal. At best I'm normal.
Yeah.
And I found that if I'm giving away the winning lottery ticket number, like they're not focused on what we look like, just like the people that we talk to, we're more interested in what they're having to say. When we go to buy a car, we're more interested in the information they're giving us
Yeah.
about the car. It's not about them. So do you think is the
Right.
main fear, when people say they're afraid of video, is the main fear what I look like, or is it what I say? Like, what do you think the main
So
fear is?
there's two fears. The first begins with what I look like, and they often use that as the number one excuse. The second is what I say and what I sound like.
Hmm.
Because when they go back and they watch it, and oftentimes we're perfectionists, so it's like, oh, I said that wrong, or I say this too much, or I don't like this, I don't like how I said that, I should change that. And we see that when people start recording their videos, where they'll record it over and over and over again. And that's why we started doing the video editing. It's like, you know what, get the information out there. If you want to change it, stop, pause, start at that sentence, and then do it over again. So, first fear, what you look like. Second fear is not necessarily what you sound like, but what you say and how it's perceived. And that's really what a lot of people have and they struggle with for the long term. So once they get over, it's like, okay, I'm going to do video. You're right. I can get on the camera. And then the second is, how do I come up with content? What should I say? And years ago, when I started doing webinars, I sat down with an underwriting vice president of underwriting for a wholesale lender. Smart guy, I mean, super smart, been in the industry for a long time. And I was trying to get him to do webinars for the company. It's like, do a webinar with me once a month. You have so much information. We need to get it out there. And he's like, I don't know what to say. I can't make a PowerPoint presentation. So I'm at dinner with him and just picking his brain. You think about those dinners you have with someone like you and I, we sit down, it's like we start talking about things like, oh my gosh, fabulous information. This is way before podcast that I had this discussion with him. And I said, if somebody could sit down and have a cup of coffee with you, they would learn so much. So I started a series with him. We called it Coffee with Ralph. And I would come up with a topic, kind of like what you're doing on the podcast. and we would just go through that information. It's the same in video.
Mm.
You don't have to have it entirely scripted out. Although we have created, because some people really do struggle with coming up with the content. The other thing I'm really finding in the industry, especially for LOs who may be with larger organizations, that the organizations want to approve all the content before they do a video. So I think that is really something that's holding back our industry. Kind of like when social media first came out, and you're like, you can't have a Facebook page, and you can't have a LinkedIn page, and you can't have a Twitter account. And so they've kind of gotten over that. Same thing with video. And so we've created a series of scripts. It's like, okay, give this to your compliance officer. They approve it. Now you can do a script. But coming up with the content, it's just a matter of taking a little bit of time to think about it. If you want to do, and that's honestly why I made the mortgage video planner, is just to be able to give you a thing, something to think about. This,
Okay, wait a
right?
second. You breezed over that real quick. I want to make sure everybody, you're such a humble person. So you wrote a book, and it's and those of you watching this streaming, I'm holding up a copy of it here. That you were kind enough to send me a copy after I bought one, because
You bought one.
no, I did. I was on Amazon looking at stuff, and your book came up, and it was like video mortgage video planner. And I thought, man, that sounds like a really good book. And so I got it off of Amazon. I don't know what it cost, but it was like nothing, right? And you have in here 52 different topics to write videos on, one for each day of the week. And it's like
One for each week of the year. Yeah. So
yeah,
52, one
yeah,
for each.
yeah, yeah. And like here, I just open up here. Do a video on can down payment funds be gifted? And if I open up another one here, what documents do you need to bring to closing? And just doing like little, like, and you've got like the full, what's the main topic, what's the opening hook, what are your 3 points, what do you want your viewers to do after watching the video? In other words, what's your call to action? So really great stuff. When people do these videos, well, first of all, so what's the information in this book, which again is on, do they get this book? If they want to get this book, do they go to your website and get it? Do they go to Amazon?
Yeah, it's available on our website, which is edumarketing.com, edumarketing.com. Amazon is where it's sold at, and it's just the mortgage video planner. It's $19.99. It's in color, which we'd kind of gone back and forth about printing it in color or not in color, but it it's one of those visual things that people will be more creative if they see things in color. So we printed it in color. It's also, we don't have as a PDF. We've had several people say, hey, can you do something I can type in? And we haven't, and I don't know that we will, because it's actually the act of writing that enables you to take what you're saying to writing it to remembering it. So it's an easier process when you go through that to actually do the video, that you recall it easier. So it's a process that happens within your brain. So that's why we want you to go through the physical steps of writing down your topic, writing down what's your first point, what's your second point, what's your third point, and then what's your call to action. We keep it in 3 points. So it's simple for you to be able to do it. And that's the idea. It's like, how much money do you need for a down payment? You don't need 20% down. So that's your first point. How much money do you need for a down payment to buy a home? Number one, you don't need 20% down. So if you write that down as a prompt, then that's going to get you to be able to remember that, right? So in this video, I'm going to share 3 points to remember that you don't need 20% down to buy a home. Number one, you can use gift funds. Number two, there are programs available that it's, 3.5% on an FHA. You can get mortgage. I mean, all those different things. That's all you need is to get started.
So if the fear is, I don't know what to say, and I agree with that. I think I think that is actually more than how do I look.
It is. The how do I look is the excuse. The real fear is, what do I say?
I never thought of it. That's exactly what it is. So in edumarketing, if I go to edumarketing.com and get the mortgage video planner totally take care of that. So now when I'm doing these little videos that walk them through the process of, exposing some myths and just some creative content that you have here, how long are these videos and where do so let's talk about number one, how long are they? And then number two, I got a video, where do I put it?
Right. So there's no right or wrong length necessarily for the videos as a whole, but there is a right or wrong length based on the information. So what I mean by that is if you're doing, and the video planner is designed to be able to do 2 to 3 minute videos. You're going to have 3 points in there, and it's meant for you to put onto YouTube, to send out to your realtors, to send, post on your Facebook group, and to do it every single week. So that's your edu marketing. So using your education to market and position yourself as the expert. That's the baseline. The next type of video is really a true education video. And that I write about in my book called The Edu Marketer. So really getting into more education. So what is VA? What is FHA? What is a loan estimate? What is a closing disclosure? What happens at closing? What happens, at escrow? I mean, all the different, there's so many things that we can do a video about. Those videos, when you really get into something that's a longer process, are extremely valuable. Number one, because nobody's doing them. Number two, because consumers are looking for them. And number three, because it provides, again, that expertise, that value that people are looking for. When I started doing a lot of training on video, I just had different places I was speaking at say, hey, can you, do a presentation on video? And so when I started searching into it, it's like, well, how many videos are, out there right now? You go to Google and you type in how to get a mortgage into Google. The first entire page is nothing but ads, which is going to get ranked. But video will rank higher on Google if you start doing it consistently. Yeah. And so you can go to YouTube. Obviously, you can find some videos there. The highest ranking videos on YouTube on how to get a mortgage are done by real estate agents, not by mortgage professionals.
Why is that?
Because they get it.
I like that. And I always thought,
real estate agents, good real estate agents are good promoters. I can tell you, loan originators, and that's why I love what you do, because it is about promoting yourself. You have to be a good promoter. That's something. In fact, I don't know if I've shared this with you. I'm starting a magazine that's called Promote Magazine. We don't talk about promoting in our industry. It's almost like it's taboo, but we need to do it. And that's why I love educating with marketing. So it's like, let's start teaching them how to promote. That's why real estate agents are good at what they do, the good ones that get out there and promote. We need to promote. But what's interesting, going back to the whole search thing, if you type into Google how to bake a cake, all you get are videos. Videos on how to bake a cake, how to bake a cake. And you go and you look for how to get a mortgage.
Zero. Isn't that funny? Because I thought, that's exactly why I've always done video is for the promotion, aspect of it. And what I found is, like, when I do videos, like in a cool way, right? We're not talking about manipulation, but in a cool way, it pre-indoctrinates the viewers to want to do business with me.
Absolutely.
And so when I walk into a room, they're not meeting me for the first time. They've seen me over and over and over on the videos. Yeah. And frankly, they either, one of two things happens. Either A, they go, hey, we're not a match, Carl. Totally cool. Right. Or B, which is most often the time, hey, that was really cool stuff that you did. Can you help me with this thing over here? Yes, I can. And I don't have to sell them because they're pre-sold. Right. And I don't know. I've always thought of video as like it's like a catalyst. Like, it makes things happen just faster. And that's what I'm looking for. Like, if I'm going to get a no, I want the no early up. I want the no before we even meet. Right, before I even take the time to meet. If you see my video and go, you know what, Carl's not my cup of tea. Totally cool, right? That's
Yeah.
okay. Hell,
Yeah.
let's not waste each other's time.
Right.
And on the other likelihood for most people, is people see your video and they go, hey, I kind of like that lady. I kind of like that guy. He reminds me of the guy next door, the lady, next door kind of thing, that I think they can help me. They seem nice. They seem pleasant. They seem helpful. And there's no place that can do that like you can a video in such a short amount of time.
Right.
So I got this 2-3 minute video here that I've done on these topics that uh, I freaking love these topics, by the way. I really do. I don't know. I think this episode will come out before we do that, but my mastermind group's getting ready to meet in Salt Lake City, Utah, and they don't know it yet, but they're each getting a copy of your book, which you didn't give. I just want to make this very clear. I bought 300 copies or whatever it is of how many people are expecting, because I think it's just great content. But anyway, so I got the content. I shot the video. Where do I post this thing at? Like, where do I email it out? Do I put it on my website? Do I put it on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or TikTok, or like, what do I do with this thing?
Well, that's a great thing. You can do whatever you want with it. And, if anybody follows Gary Vee, and I know a lot of people in the industry follow Gary Vee.
Yeah.
And I had an opportunity. I was invited to speak at his Agent 2021 event in I think it was 2019, which was a weird thing. But anyway, I talked about compliance in video at the time. But he talks about repurposing and using all the different platforms and doing that. And he started out on video. Gary Vee would not be here today as he is had he not started out doing video on his wine library. And that's how powerful video is. From that, he was asked to speak at his first event, which actually happened to be for insurance agents. Totally not related to anything, but they felt like they knew him. So you can put it onto YouTube. And I always recommend having a YouTube channel, because from there you can get a link and then you can share that out. You can text it. You can post it on Facebook. You can post it on LinkedIn. You can send out an email. You can do all of those things. So having a YouTube channel, number one. And I know a lot of people have Vimeo. Nobody finds you on Vimeo. So stop putting your stuff on Vimeo. Nobody cares about it. And if your company has you to where it's like, oh, it's more compliant or it's locked down, you know what? YouTube, you can do things to have it unlisted or to private. So if there's certain things that you don't want showing, you can do that on YouTube as well. People go to search on YouTube. Number 2 search engine in the world, obviously Google number 1. So if you don't have a YouTube account, get a YouTube account and then spread it from there. There's so many different ways that you can use the video. Even if it's texting, we had created some process videos for a client at the beginning of COVID. And she wanted every step of the loan process. And so we did that, posted it onto YouTube. She takes those and even puts them into like BombBomb. She sends it out by a text, depending on how she has a list of them. And so when somebody, gets an application, her assistant pulls that link and sends them that as a follow-up. Hey, thanks for filling out an application. Here's the next step. And it's a video that goes through it. Now, people are going to watch a video much more than they're going to read instructions. It's just in Hawaii. We went to several different museums there. And the ones I learned the most from were the ones that had videos, little videos you could watch right at the little, information there, or the audio tour. We did the USS Arizona on Memorial Day, and they had the full audio tour. I would much, rather listen to somebody telling me about it than reading it. I get exhausted reading. It's like, I don't want to go on vacation and read. People don't want to get information from you and read, but they will watch a video. So there's no right or wrong. It's just, first of all, put it on YouTube, then spread the love from there.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we do. Like when I shoot a video, when I shoot a quick video, and I might have this wrong in my office, but I'm pretty sure I give it to. I know who I give it to, but I think Lauren in the office grabs that video and then puts it up on YouTube, like this podcast. It's where we live stream it on the Loan Officer Deal Desk. Awesome group on Facebook. It goes up on YouTube. Of course, we put it up on podcasts. On a podcast, it goes out on iTunes. It goes out on Heart
Yeah.
Radio and like, I don't know, like literally like 30 other things. Some of them have video, some of them just the audio, but it's just, I record it one time, hand it to somebody, off the race, which one thing I want to, man, there is nothing that, gosh, do I want to get into this? So we'll edit this out if we need to. So one thing that I always just shake my head at is I'll be in a loan officer group on Facebook, and somebody's asking, "Hey, what software do I use to edit my video?" And I've always
Mhm.
thought, dear God, please don't tell me you're spending your time editing your
Right.
video. Instead, hand that off, get somebody else to edit that thing for you. And
Yeah.
then you spend that time either A, shooting another video,
Right.
or B, talking to those people that watched your first one. Like,
Yeah.
don't spend, and I know, Ginger, I know you do a done for you editing service. And I'm not just saying this just because you're here, and I do appreciate you, and I do. Uh, but man, to do your own, like for me, somebody holds a camera, I shoot the quick video, I give them the camera, I'm done. And then
Yeah.
I'm on to the next thing. Cause
Yeah.
I think part of what holds a lot of people back from doing video is like, well, then I got to this and that and this
Right.
and that. No, you don't. You shoot the video, hand it off, let somebody else do it. Let's see. So we talked about how long should they be? What do they talk about? We talked about the fear, which mostly they think it's what I look like, but it's really what do I say. You totally crushed that in your book. Uh, the editing part, you do it done for you, which we're going to give a website here in just a second. Just real briefly, let's do talk about the equipment. So for me, and I've got some fancy dancy cameras that I spent some pretty good money on.
Mhm.
I would say I was going to say 9 out of 10. It's more than 9 out of 10. I would say like literally 96 out of 100 times. I'm just using my iPhone camera. Like,
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah. So, I mean, you can spend a ton of money on equipment and then a ton of time trying to figure it out. If you are not a camera person, don't bother because the phones today, I mean, honestly, when we were traveling in Hawaii, my son brought a friend along and he had just gotten the new Samsung and the camera was sick on that thing. Like, and this is a kid who's a photographer. He's getting rid of his, like, $2,000 DSLR camera and just using his phone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing what you can do. So yeah, I mean, your phone is fine. I have the iPhone, upgraded to whatever the reason is. I honestly think I might switch over to the Samsung because the camera is so good on it. Um, so don't be afraid to use it, but make sure you're using it. So if you're going to shoot video, turn it, shoot horizontal, don't shoot vertical. Vertical, we can't edit. Horizontal, we can. So that's one of the pro tips to remember. Um, your audio, so whatever you're using for a mic, is very important because the sound is important. So, the ear pods that you're using, the earbuds, those work great. Not a problem. If you want to use an external mic, you can use an external mic. So make sure, watch your sound if you're outside, things like that. Lighting, there's LoomCube has an incredible package, which I love, which gives you a very solid stand to put your phone on, has a little clip to put your phone into, and they have a nice light that is a very good light to be able to provide some of that backlight depending on where you're at. But you don't have to spend a ton of money. If you're shooting video like we are right now, and I know, there's people that get the nice DSLR cameras. And honestly, I tried, but it was like too hard to get everything dialed in all the time. And I said, I have to use what I can teach. And I've always been about that. So if it's too complicated for somebody else for me to use, it's going to be too complicated for somebody else to use. I use a Logitech. I use a Razer when I'm traveling. So, I mean, it's like you don't have to spend a ton on equipment, but just make sure you know how to use the equipment. So, be comfortable with it because, again, if you have to go into setting up a lot of stuff, then you're not going to shoot it. You need to be able to, I can grab my camera, my phone, I can go out in my backyard, I can shoot a video, I can walk downtown, I mean, whatever. So don't overthink it. People are posting a lot of nice things out there. And, we started the Mortgage Video Mastermind. I started that group just to start the conversation. And a lot of people have some incredible studios. In my studio, I have a blue microphone, and I do have a full, setup as far as a sound mixer and everything, because I do a lot of audio for my training classes that I do that for my clients, but you don't need that. So I say keep it simple.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. The only thing, so I use like literally more than 9 times out of 10. I use my iPhone 12, whatever the newest one is. I think it's a
Yeah.
12. So I use that. I do use an external microphone, but all it is, it's a little lapel mic I bought off of
Yep.
Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Audio Technica is a
Yeah,
brand name.
there's a lot of good ones. I use a Rode. I do have a Rode that's a wireless mic that I like, so I'm not corded. And
Mhm.
so, I can send you what we have for our list. You can drop it in if you want to do that. Um, so find out what's comfortable and don't be afraid to, try it a few things. Go into Amazon. If you don't like it, you send it back. It's not difficult.
Wonderful. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't
It's,
that wonderful? But this stuff, we're talking like I think my Audio Technica, I don't know, $20, $30, something like
yeah,
that for the mic. And it's certainly, under $100. And for me, for my lighting, I usually go outside, here in Florida, pretty
yeah,
much.
you're in Florida. I'm in Oregon. Sometimes
Yeah,
we
yeah,
need
yeah.
some
Well,
extra
you
light.
take your umbrella and,
Yes.
no, it doesn't take much. And even those ring lights, they're just, this is like some really inexpensive stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, the cost of not doing it is way more than the cost of doing it. So
Right.
we call it the COI, the cost of inactivity
Yeah, I
is
like that.
is enormous.
Yeah.
It's enormous. Hey, we're having a couple people. I'm looking on the like again. We stream these live on the Loan Officer Deal Desk. We got some people asking about the website. So let's talk about let's briefly talk about the done for you service that you offer, and it comes with my highest recommendations. And again, Ginger's here. I've been a huge fan of hers for years. She's a fantastic instructor. And I'm not writing her a check, or she's not writing me a check. I recommend it. I just don't operate that way. I recommend people because they're freaking excellent at what they do. And so the name of the book is Mortgage Video Planning. And the website is edumarketing.com. So EDU marketing.com, edumarketing.com. Those of you watching this on the podcast, we'll have a link either in the show notes or up on the web page where we publish this. We'll put a link, and same thing on YouTube. If you're watching these on YouTube, we'll put a link in there. So let's talk about this. So if I want you to edit my videos, I'm going to go get the book. I'm going to record my video. How do I get that to you?
So COVID, we started kind of just finding out what people needed. And so we started offering the video editing. And so if you just want us to edit your video, we can do that. We'll edit your videos, we'll produce them for you. We do a thumbnail, we do your colors, put your NMLS ID number, put all your contact information in there and everything. What we found is most people really needed more than just the editing. And so we added, I think it's called our gold package. And you shoot the video, you send it over to us. You don't have to edit anything. And you can do like 20 takes. We'll edit out the video and we'll add all the call outs to it. So we'll add your call outs, we'll add your header, your contact information, your licensing, make sure you're all compliant. And we set up your YouTube channel.
Wow.
So we built a banner and YouTube channel. We make all your thumbnails on your YouTube channel, and then we'll post everything onto your YouTube channel. So you shoot the video, you send it over, we take it over from there. And, we do the editing, send it back, good to go. Carl, you say, yeah, we're good to go. So then we'll post it, and we post it onto YouTube, and then we post it onto your social media channels. So you honestly, it's a set it and forget it kind of thing. And we do, figure out what your hashtags are, what you want, what your contact information is. So all that information that goes underneath, we do that. You can post it onto your website. We do have some clients where we do that and post it onto their website. But that's our most popular program that we have found. It's like you shoot it, then we'll edit it, we'll create your YouTube channel, That's kind of where we were when we started with this last year. It's like, what do you guys need? It's like, well, we need this. Like, okay, we'll do that. Well, we also need this. So we're open. I mean, honestly, Carl, that's what a lot of it is. It's just finding out. I have a call in a couple weeks with another company. They're like, okay, we want this for all of our LOs. So, how can we do that? And the company is now getting their own YouTube channel. We're doing it for the company now. Because that's the other thing we're not seeing. A lot of companies don't have YouTube channels out there.
Mhm.
Some of the, I look at some of the biggest companies in the industry, and they have like a YouTube channel with like 2 videos on it. And it's like, you guys, this is where people are going to look for information. As an industry, we're not doing great on it. So,
And
you can find the information. We offer those. We offer it's an edu marketing toolbox. So we basically have scripts for you. So we have the video scripts. We have pre-made videos for you. We have PowerPoint presentations. We have invitations to invite people to webinars. And we've made that, I think we've got like 8 months of content on there now. And we were dropping it month by month. And I said, let's just get it all out there. So we have that. So honestly, for $99 a month, you can get access to, I think right now we probably have about 32 scripts up there that you can use, 32 pre-made videos. And if you don't see something, then you can get in touch with us and we can certainly figure out what you need. And that's really a lot of it is just figuring out what does our industry need and how can we get more content out there.
Yeah, man, that's some good stuff. And I cannot overemphasize what video marketing has, done for my career. It's where it all started, like really, and
Yeah.
it's been an amazing, a very humbling journey. It's been an amazing journey. But I think even as a loan officer and a branch manager, the videos were such a big deal to me because like what I did is I'd shoot little quick videos, uh, given realtors. I called it the Wednesday tip, and
Yeah.
I'd shoot this little 2-3 minute video, would send it out to the realtors, post it on the Facebook pages and the Instagram pages where the realtors were, and send out to emails and whatnot. And Ginger, it was remarkable. It's like when I would go to like pop in at open houses, or when people would get my pre-approval letters, like the listing agent get my pre-approval letter, or I went to the Realtors Association.
Yeah.
It's like it was weird. It's like everybody knew me, and I didn't know,
Indeed.
and I didn't know any of them, and it was a incredible catalyst.
Yeah. Yeah.
So cool. All right,
Makes you a rock star.
edumarketing.com. And I take it when I go there, is there some sort of an opt-in? So like if I want to get invited to this video mastermind group that you do, that myself and Scott Shang, and I know you got a couple more people that are in there.
Yep.
Frank Gray was a guest host here not too long.
Yeah, that was great.
Is that, if I just go to edumarketing.com, is like everything kind of starts there?
Yeah, everything starts there. And we have a newsletter. So we send out tips on Wednesday. And then I actually record a video that goes along with the planner. And we send those tips out on Friday. So I do a video on how to
You're the
use the
bomb, aren't
planner for
you?
the
You
week.
just, holy cow.
So we do that as well.
I feel so inadequate when I talk with you,
Um,
So good stuff, my friend. Well, Ginger, I really appreciate you. Coming in here and being on the podcast. I wanted to get on here for quite some time, and I'm glad our calendars matched up so we could do this. Looking forward to hanging out with you at our mastermind meeting here in Salt Lake City.
yes,
Club.
absolutely.
So that's going to be fun having you in there. And I know you're going to be. I hope it's okay to say this again. We can edit anything out, but that you're going to be like a guest instructor in the mortgage marketing animals with all the video stuff that you're
Yep.
doing, because you're the cat's meow when it comes to all that stuff. And you're just a really
I love that.
cool person. And I just want to thank you over the years for your friendship and everything you've done, not just the industry, but being selfish for me personally. And so I really appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you. And likewise.
All right. Sounds good. All right, gang. So you got the website, edumarketing.com. I certainly highly recommend it. And for sure, also get the video planning book. And man, look at the done for you part of it, because otherwise, man, so many people, they shoot videos and then it just sits there in their camera and nothing ever happens to it, or they post it on one site, 3 people see it, and it wasn't worth the effort of doing it. So get hook up with Ginger and her team, let them help you out there. So all right. Let's see. Hey, as always, we appreciate those 5-star reviews, or just an honest review. We always appreciate those, and we appreciate you sharing these episodes with your friend. Anybody you think would benefit from learning about video marketing, Ginger and I would appreciate you sharing this episode with them. So thanks a lot. We'll see you on the inside. We'll see you on Friday's video marketing class group that Ginger is a host of, and we'll see you inside Edge of Marketing. Thanks again, everybody. Bye bye.